Folks, in this video today, I want to talk about some more top undrafted free agents that we all should be keeping an eye on going throughout the remainder of this Buccaneers process of voluntary workouts, mandatory workouts, training camp, preseason games, and possibly even regular season games as well. Honorable mentions include guys that I've already talked about at length here on the channel. That includes guys like running back Sean Tucker out of Syracuse, linebacker Jeremy Banks out of Tennessee, and offensive guard Chris Murray out of Oklahoma. With that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into this list. First guy I want to mention is Kade Warner, wide receiver out of Kansas State. 6'1", a little over 200 pounds. He's already been making a little bit of a name for himself in the Buccaneers rookie mini camp. He's been able to showcase great route running, just an overall crafty, versatile type of wide receiver. Scott Reynolds of PewterReport.com compared him to Adam Humphries, just a little bit bigger. We all know and loved Adam Humphries based on his time with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the past, and if Kade Warner here can showcase that type of ability, the Buccaneers have themselves a pretty good wide receiver on their hands. Kade Warner, the son of NFL Hall of Famer, former NFL quarterback Kurt Warner, which is a fantastic thing to see. Kade Warner plays wide receiver. He had 46 receptions, 456 receiving yards, and 5 receiving touchdowns in his final season at Kansas State. While that isn't necessarily numbers that are going to blow you away, I think Warner is one of these guys that could translate very well to the NFL level. He's obviously been training for a very long time under his father, who again is an NFL Hall of Famer, so he definitely has a leg up on other guys when it comes to adjusting to NFL speeds in terms of quarterback play, knowing when to expect the football, and all those other different types of things. I think that Kade Warner is a guy that could crack the Buccaneers 53-man roster. Scott Reynolds says do not be surprised if he does make it as a potential 6th wide receiver based on what he can offer as a special teams guy as well. All in all, Warner is a guy that I think can be a guy that you expect to see interesting things from going throughout the preseason, the training camp, and whatnot. He was a second-team academic All-Big 12 in 2022. We'll see if he can translate to the NFL. He's certainly got a lot going for him. Next guy I want to take a look at here is safety Kayvon Merriweather out of Iowa. This has been a guy that we have talked about a little bit here throughout the process of undrafted free agent signings and whatnot. He overall was a pretty darn good safety while at Iowa, was able to showcase some really good things. 6 foot tall, 205 pounds, pretty decent-ish athlete, 35.5 vertical jump, 9 foot 10 inch broad jump, 1.58 10-yard split, and a 4.62 40-yard dash. He has certainly got some size for him, and I think that right now the Buccaneers, they have a situation where they could use a couple of backup safeties. You've got Antoine Winfield Jr., you've got Ryan Neal, but that's pretty much it right now. Yes, you have Nolan Turner, who was with the Buccaneers last year, was able to showcase some pretty good special teams play, was a special teams beast while at Clemson, but definitely don't count a guy like Kayvon Merriweather. You take a look at his 2022 year, he got a second AP All-American and an honorable mention All-Big Ten Conference. Notice he had 47 tackles, 2 tackles for loss, 3 interceptions, and 3 pass breakups in 12 starts. I think overall Kayvon Merriweather has got some pretty good size to be a good safety in a Todd Bowles style of defense, be a guy that can make a little bit of noise, and overall could potentially crack the Bucs 53-man roster as well. Another guy you've got to take a look at is former Rutgers safety Chris Eisen, who is another safety that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been taking a look at. Another guy who, at least according to Todd Bowles, is a guy who could have very easily been drafted in the NFL draft. Was pretty surprising that he fell into the undrafted free agent category, but he did end up with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they may have themselves a pretty interesting safety on their hands. 5'8", 197 pounds. In 2022, he had 84 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, 1.5 sacks, and 4 pass breakups. He got an honorable mention as an All-Big Ten Conference recognition as a senior. That's not bad at all. Then in terms of 2021, he had 75 tackles, 9 tackles for loss, 4 pass breakups. That's overall some pretty decent stats there in 2021 as well. And I think it just goes to show that this is another guy. Look, despite his size, 5'8", 197 pounds, he's a guy that can be very beneficial in the run as well as in the passing game as well. Todd Bowles compared his play a little bit to Antoine Winfield Jr., said that they played pretty similar. Obviously, that remains to be seen if that will be the case, but it is a good comparison to make there for the young safety. He is from Palmer Park, Maryland, which is pretty cool in my opinion. And I think that, or sorry, no, he's not from Palmer Park, Maryland. That's the next prospect we'll be talking about. Point being, though, is that I think Chris Eisen here is a very interesting safety prospect, a guy that I think can offer a lot here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Depth at the safety position. Now, the next guy we got to talk about is the guy who's from Palmer Park, Maryland. It is Rakim Jarrett, 6 feet tall, 192 pounds. This guy is a pretty darn athletic wide receiver, folks. 4.44 40-yard dash, 1.51 10-yard split, 35.5-inch vertical jump, 10-foot 3-inch broad jump, 13 reps on the bench press. I really like Rakim Jarrett. I think he is a very interesting wide receiver. In 2022, played in 11 games, had 471 receiving yards, 3 receiving touchdowns, but in 2021, he had 829 receiving yards and 5 receiving touchdowns. All in all, I think that he is a pretty interesting receiver, and he's got a lot of accolades, man. 2022, he was on the Blitnikoff Award watch list. He is a 3-time honorable mention All Big Ten in 2020, 2021, and 2022. 2022, Pro Football Focus, Athlon Sports, Phil Steele and Lindley's Sports Preseason, 2nd Team All Big Ten. 2022, Pick 6 Previews, Preseason First Team All Big Ten. 2021, Pro Football Focus, honorable mention All Big Ten. 2021, Phil Steele, 3rd Team All Big Ten. And there's a couple more, I guess I should say, awards in that mix as well. Point being is that Rakim Jarrett there certainly has a lot of accolades to his game, and I think could be a guy that could crack the Buccaneers wide receiver room, possibly with a guy like Kade Warner in there as well. The Buccaneers have a little bit, I don't want to call it a void, but are going to have a pretty strong competition at the back half of their wide receiver room with, you know, a lot of different guys there, like Devin Tompkins, like Kalen Geiger, possibly Jarrett Stearns, who's in there at the rookie minicamp, like Kade Warner in there as well. You cannot count out Rakim Jarrett. You've also got Trey Palmer in there as well. So possibly 5, 6 wide receiver spots. Those could be a guy that there could be positions that are going to have a lot of battles there. I think you can throw Rakim Jarrett right into that battle. He's got a lot of good traits to his game. Finally, the last guy I want to talk about is another wide receiver. I know we've been talking about a lot of them, but Ryan Miller is a wide receiver that I think offers a lot of different things. Playing for Furman, he is 6'2", 209 pounds. He was listed as a tight end coming out of college, I guess I should say, but coming to the NFL, it definitely does seem like he is going to be a wide receiver. And he put up some good wide receiver stats, man. 749 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns in 2021, 762 receiving yards, and 12 touchdowns in 2022. That's not bad at all, man. That's overall pretty good stats there for the young player coming out of Furman, and he's got good size, man. 6'2", 221. You may view him as a tight end. You may view him as a wide receiver. I think he fits more as a wide receiver in the NFL today, but he put up some pretty good stats, man. He's got also some really good accolades. He was on the Walter Payton Award watch list. He was an Associated Press All-American 3rd team in 2021. He was in the All-Southern Conference in 2021, both for media and in coaches. He was an All-American in 2021 first team for the Associated Press. Like, this guy's got a lot of accolades, man. He really does. And I think that he's going to be a really interesting name to watch, see how he transitions to wide receiver, and it's going to be one heck of a battle, man, for that 5th and 6th wide receiver spot. There's a lot of interesting guys here with a lot of good traits to their game. Ryan Miller is another guy that I think you really shouldn't sleep on. You've also got Rakim Jarrett. You have also got Kayvon Merriweather at safety. You've also got Kade Warner out there at the wide receiver position. You've got Chris Eisen out there as well. There is Rakim Jarrett there. So, yeah, folks, we've got a lot of interesting names to pay attention to here throughout the practices and the training camps and the mandatory things and the preseason games and whatnot. There's going to be a lot to pay attention to. And a lot of these guys are going to be considered for not just roster spots, but practice squad spots, and also making impressions for other teams as well. I've always said you never know who is going to make an impact, and I still believe that to this day. You never know who's going to make an impact, and I think that all of these guys do have something to offer and do have a chance to make an impact. We will see if they are going to be able to do so, and it's going to be a very fun ride to watch. But folks, what do you guys think about these undrafted guys? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments section below. I would love to hear them. Do you like some of these guys more than others? Do you not like any of these guys? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions on all of these players. Anyway, folks, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed. And as always, folks, I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.